And we are live again. It's another Friday. Where has time gone? Oh my goodness. So many news this week. I don't even know where to start. Your co-host, Orlando, CTO, my bad, of Toolhouse, and also co-founder. We're a small team. We build AI infrastructure for everybody, not just for the big brains, also for the normal people. So we are trying to build the infrastructure that anybody in the world can use, whether you're an engineer, a grandfather working in the fields, or maybe someone who fixes cars. We want to give you the tools to basically build your agentic workflow, your AI agents, whatever makes sense for your use case. So this is Toolhouse, and I'm joined here by.
Yeah, it's me. I'm Homan. So, yeah, exciting news, exciting week. I can't wait to kick this off. So,
All
yeah,
right,
let's
let's
do
kick it
this.
off. What else? I mean, what else are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
So today we're going to have three things to talk about. Human is going to show a cool hack that he did with ElevenLabs. Then we're going to talk about the release of some cool new models in the AI world because I think it's worth mentioning. And then we're going to talk about the new agent studio right here. So, bada bing, bada boom. All
I like
right.
that style. Let's go, baby. So, I'm going to share my screen with you to
Thank
show you
you.
my app.
All
And
right. I'll give you full control. So, good luck,
let's go.
soldier.
All right. So, from the you're probably gonna be familiar with this, right? This is the
Yes.
Notion Killer app. So we got the tabs going on.
Uh
So
huh.
another feature that we got here. So let's say you're working on a paper, right?
Yeah.
So this app allows you to work with Toolhouse, get information out of your tasks that you deal with. And for example, here we're gonna have, oops, that was a wrong link. If you have like a, we're gonna have trouble with this, right? Okay.
Copy paste. You can
Yeah.
do it.
So if you have this paper and you want to just read it out and have taking notes from it, I added I guess the ElevenLabs configurations to it, so you can have different breakdowns from different parts of this like paper, like the abstract or the introduction. You can just select your text,
No
and then
way.
yeah, yeah, it's that easy, right? So
Wait, is it gonna say speak it out loud to me?
that's exactly what it's gonna do, so let's test it out.
Can you hear it?
You can't, right? Oh
I
shit.
can, but can you hear it?
Yeah, I can.
All
I
right,
can.
that's okay. We believe you. I think this is really powerful because with what you can do with Toolhouse, you can basically scrape any page, any document, and then you can connect it to ElevenLabs and just have it summarize it or like speak a summarization for you, right?
Yeah,
And so
so
with your application here, it's basically doing that, right? Like what is
yeah.
it what is it using? Tell us a little bit of how you built this.
So yeah, so the idea is exactly as you said. You have Toolhouse that gives your LLM the powers of like couldn't do, like search internet, go on X, do different things with
Right.
LLMs, and we got ElevenLabs kind of like giving that voice to the operations. So
Wow.
Toolhouse does the operation, ElevenLabs gives it like a speaking voice. So yeah, that's pretty
So they
much it.
collaborate together.
Yep, that's it.
Nice.
And yeah, that was my revealing demo
All
showing
right.
yeah,
Well, that's good
ElevenLabs.
progress. I guess this is interesting. I think we're gonna add ElevenLabs officially as a tool into the
Wow.
store. That way, anybody can use this. They don't have to like just use the SDK and hack it around with different SDKs. So this is a pretty cool demo. All right. Well, appreciate that. Any other things that you built using ElevenLabs that you want to share today?
Not today. So this is for today, and maybe I reveal a game that I've been
Yeah,
building.
just show. Can you like show just the idea? You don't have to. I know you've been working on it.
Yep. Let
Wow,
me.
deployed on Vercel. Let's go.
Yep. Let me not leak our conversations and
No,
find it.
that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything worth leaking other than links anyway.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So tell us
So
the idea, just high level. What are you trying to do, and how are you building it with Toolhouse and ElevenLabs?
okay. So the idea is still the same. I want to learn something. Let's say Italian words. I want to learn Italian this year, and I can create like there is Duolingo. That is fine. right? But I want to create my own thing. I want to get some Italian words and some translations, and I can get that information like these cards from Toolhouse and play them with ElevenLabs. So we have this set of cards here, 3 cards. You can have different like names and different vocabulary, and then you can play it with ElevenLabs. So to use this, I'm gonna make it accessible to people, so people can test it out,
Yeah,
do different things. So you can come here and configure in the
their own
configuration,
APIs.
add your own API keys, and you can generate new words from Toolhouse with ElevenLabs and have this gamification kind of approach to learning new
Very
languages. So
cool.
yeah.
Do you think you could extend this eventually where people can like give it a URL of like a PDF or a web page, and then Toolhouse could generate words or ideas from that page? So this could be a, not just Italian flashcards, but it could be learn anything flashcards.
Yeah, I actually really like that. Kind of like a general purpose kind of way to do this. Yeah, that's
Yeah, to
actually
help
doable.
people learn, right? Because I think flashcards are cool, but especially when they flip and they show you the answer to something that you're trying to learn. Like I am trying to learn better mathematics, for example. And so if there were like some theorems and there and I could just,
Yeah,
like flip them around and make sure that I learn them.
I love that
Um,
idea. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that. So next week,
especially when it
next
especially
week.
when it's like complicated concepts, hearing them and reading them works really well, especially when I can click a button and it's the voice is generated for me, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like a win-win. Anyways, that's awesome. Let's go back to our programming, and we said that we were going to talk about new models. All right, so
What's
this
that?
week, yeah, what's a model? This week has been incredible for every big foundational modern company. We've had Microsoft, sorry, I should say OpenAI. We've had, I made a joke.
Yeah, you did that.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I don't even know. I don't even know what's going to happen with OpenAI and Microsoft. But anyway, that's none of our business. Today, we're going to talk about OpenAI is releasing new models. We have 4.1, and then they released O3, and they released O4, and all kind of weird stuff in between. I think it's amazing, and it's also really, really confusing. They
Do you
have
think it's just the
so
same model, or just like renaming them with a dash or
yeah.
something? Yeah, they're
I
doing that.
love that you read my post on LinkedIn,
Yep.
everybody. I was super conspiracy theory mode, and I was like, O3, O4 mini, O4, high, like all these things. Like, are they actually just the same model, but like they just change a little bit, like the tuning behind, so it looks like they're making incredible amounts of model, but actually it's just one big model, and then they just like hit it in the face so it hurts, and then it's a little bit stupider, and then they hit it again, and there's like bang bang bang, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't actually know what they're doing out there. I don't work at OpenAI, but I think we have some what do you call them, some benchmarks, I would say. So
We
let's
do. We
see if
do.
I can add myself here to the stage. Boom bam. Oh, I
Oh
gotta
wait.
do this and I
Yep.
gotta do this. All right, here we go. So here's the new models, right? Or at least that's the performance and the cost. O3, has been out for a while, right? But like I've never had access to O3 High. I had always access to O3 Mini and all that kind of stuff. Um, I've actually, I don't even know. Can I even use O4 today? I guess only way to find out is to go to chatgpt.com and see what do we have. Oh, okay. Let's close this. What do we have here? ChatGPT, from Plus, okay, you get 4.0, pretty cool. But does it say anything about what you get access to? Should I buy it? Should I not buy it? Especially
That's
when
that's the trick.
Google released Gemini 2.5 Flash just today. So if we go like here and I don't know, there you go. That's the announcement. Flash is out. It costs more. If it has the thinking, actually costs less. My bad, because it's Flash. Actually, that's not even a good. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. The
Yeah.
pricing here is interesting. So Gemini 2.5, 1 million tokens, 15 cents. 2.0 Flash, the more stupid version, 10 cents. OpenAI O4 Mini, $1.10. That's expensive, dude.
Yeah.
Especially if you use a lot on huge code bases. But here's my pet peeve. They put reasoning under a different tab. So reasoning for I guess 1 million tokens, it's actually $3.5. Whereas extended thinking on Claude is only $3 and on Grok is $3. So the question is Gemini 2.5 Flash reasoning better because it's more expensive? Or are they trying to trick us into thinking that it's cheaper? I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, no one knows. There's a lot of benchmarks here. 2.5, almost as good as O4, not as good though. Again, not as good as O4 here, not as good as O4 here, but close enough, right? Like we don't
Yeah.
actually know the difference. Will you even feel the difference?
Yeah. I
Will you
mean,
even be able to tell? I honestly, I don't really know how I can tell the difference between all of these models in my day-to-day usage of the high-end models, so to speak. I just see no difference, whether it's for coding, for summarizing, for enhancing. I'm not a native English speaker, obviously, as you can tell from my accent. So I
no
use a
way.
lot of AI to make when I write things sound them better and more intelligent, right? Like just, hey, polish it up, make it sound more formal. Did
Yeah.
that make sense to you, right? Like I use mostly AI just as a basically as an assistant instead of paying someone who knows how to speak English really well. I just run everything through AI. And so I can't really tell the difference. So everything here, cost and performance, looks like, performance is higher, but cost is lower on O3. So congratulations to the OpenAI team. They've done some amazing things, but don't be worried because Google is coming for your lunch. And so who knows? Maybe the
Yeah.
next level, the next release, it's going to be even more performant. And then we'll literally have super, super close. Right now, it's like this:
Yeah.
OpenAI slightly higher, Google a little bit lower, Claude also kind of like that, right? But
Yeah. He's just
eventually,
wandering around.
everything
Yeah.
is just going to normalize. It's all just going to be like that. And then this one makes sense. That won't matter anymore. Like it won't matter if you can use O3, O4, or Gemini 2.5 or 3 or whatever, like you'll just use whatever you get a better deal on, honestly,
Yeah.
and if you have credits from Google, if you have credits from OpenAI, then you're going to be loyal to that company or the other one. But at the end of the day, all that matters will be developer documentation. If you implement these APIs or the technology, well, whoever has the most incredible documentation that another AI can understand, because we engineers are going to lose our jobs, then that whoever has the best documentation that the cursor or windsurf or whoever understands, then I think they're going to win. And maybe it's going to
Yeah.
be Toolhouse. So, with that being said, let's talk about the last thing. So I said, Homan, you're going to show,
Yep.
then talk about some models news, and now we're going to talk about Agent Studio Point 2. All
Let's
right.
go.
Uman, do you have it open? Do you want to show it?
I don't have it open, but I can show it.
All right.
Uh. Yep.
I will open it otherwise. And I can also, I want to see how, you've used it for like what, 24 hours or less.
I guess
So
so.
give us like, just as a user, how would you use it? Let me see how you would do that. And I will
All
bring
right.
your, all right, open the Agent Studio V2 and I will add
Yep.
your
It's
screen
opened up.
to,
Yep.
all right.
So this is my personal area. So you can see I have this agents.
Yep.
Used to be like chatting, which is like I like this. This feels much better. So you can go ahead and create a new agent. So let's go what I've built already. So for the Italian card game
All
that
right.
we showed, I used this one. So it says yesterday, you have these actions over it, you can mess around with it. But here's
All
the real
right.
deal. So the agent studio, you can write what your agent needs to do. So I'm I'm telling it, give me 3 Italian words and make sure they're not repetitive. So check my memory. This is very cool because you don't have to define memory or vector databases or something like that. The MCP server just handles it with you
Yeah,
just give the prompt, and that's great. What I learned recently was that I can get like expected output from Toolhouse. I didn't know that, so I strictly caps lock it and just screamed at it. Just give me a JSON format like this, Italian word like this, English like this, and I can get a JSON output from it. And give it some important rules that it shouldn't say something else, just the JSON format. This is what I want. So if I run
perfect.
it, you can see MCP memory search and blah blah blah. You get the best thing you can get. So the agent output, you can see the Italian word, the English version, and if it looks good, you're just gonna say good, and then you can deploy it.
That's right. And so
Yeah,
one little tweaks that we did in the last 12 hours is before the button looks good with a thumbs up, we changed it to continue. And so if you watched our previous announcement of Agent Studio V2, where it said looks good, now it does say continue. So it's more friendly to the user. They know exactly they have to click that button because it looks good, right? And
yeah,
so you hit it, and then you're basically given endpoints that you can use because this agent is basically now accessible via API, and every output that it will produce, it will be accessible by your own app, by your own application, or maybe by some other agent that needs to delegate some work to Toolhouse agents. And then in the schedule section, which is next to the deploy one, well, here you can basically run your own Agent Studio, specific intervals. If you click it, it takes you to this page, which you might remember from the past, where you can basically select the agent, maybe the bundle, and you can write something like every Monday, every Tuesday, every 10 minutes, once a week on a Friday, whatever, in natural English language. And then you're going to press that blue button and create a schedule. And if you want to pass the output to someone else automatically, you have the callback URL, which Homan just showed you a second ago. And there you have it. Turn it on, turn it off, do whatever you want. Welcome to the world of Toolhouse. Everything is pretty simple. And of course, you can edit and change it and do the usual stuff. So, to recap, today we talked about Human's project using ElevenLabs. Pretty cool. We showed also the second project that he's been working on. That basically means that you also can build your own Toolhouse and ElevenLabs project, agent, whatever. We're going to release an ElevenLabs MCP server or tool. We support both, where depending which side of the fence you look at. And then we looked at the models, and then we looked at the Agent Studio V2, and it's Friday. It's almost lunchtime here. It's probably dinner time over
yeah.
there. So we're going to wrap today's podcast with enjoy your weekend. For some people who celebrate Easter, enjoy your Easter, of course. And we have more updates coming soon to the Toolhouse viewership. Everyone who follows us, we're basically releasing a new cool feature, especially if you're a new user. I won't spoil too much onboarding, but keep your eyes peeled. Give us 4 or 5 more days, and it's going to be out. And then after that, it's going to be even more awesome, but that's more secret. I'm not going to spoil that. So 1 week at a time. Thanks for watching from Orly, Orlando, whatever you want to call me, here in Texas, and Human
From Padua.
waving from Padova all the way in Europe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode next Friday. Have a good weekend, and keep tooling on Toolhouse or whatever. I don't know. We'll have to come up with something.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.